Hello students, welcome to the SRBPS virtual classroom program. I am your biology educator Prerna Rathi. So students, let us start today's class. Today's class we will be reading about the unit of life, cell. You have been reading about cells since many of your younger classes, like there was a detail about the fundamental unit of life, that is cell, in your class 9th also. So what is special in class 11th? We are going to get into details and mind my words, the ultrastructure of various organelles when we deal with it in class 11th. We will be dealing with how these organelles are working and what is their structure. Let us start with the first topic. What is a cell? Cell, students, is the basic fundamental structural and functional unit of life. Let us split it and try to understand it. Why is it called the fundamental, the basic structural unit? Because any complex structure in the living organism is made up by a combination of cells. Why is it called the fundamental functional unit? Because when a cell performs the basic functions like metabolism, respiration, then only it enables a whole organism to work, or to prove that it is living. All living things are made up of one or more cells. One cell unicellular and more cells multicellular. Every cell has its own life. Old and weak cells are continually dying. Right now also when we are talking, our cells are dying and new cells are replacing those old cells. All organisms, including ourselves, even we have started our life as a single cell. When a sperm and the ovum combined, they formed a zygote, which was unicellular. Later on, we developed into a fetus in our mother's womb, and after the birth, we've been growing ever since. Fine. Cells are so small, they're microscopic in nature, that they cannot be seen with the naked eye. The next thing that we have to discuss is the cell theory. The basic cell theory has three components, two of which were given by Sheldon and Swan, and the modification was provided by Rudolf Virchow. Let us see one by one. Sheldon and Swan in the year 1838 and 39 had given two basic principles, that all organisms are composed of cells, one or more cells, and the cell is the basic unit of the living system. Apart from that, Rudolf Virchow explained the concept of homogeneous cellular e cellular, which means that all cells are produced from pre-existing cells. If there are no cells already, then a new cell cannot be formed in de novo. There is no de novo synthesis concept. Why cells? How many cells? Numerous. How do you differentiate animals? Basically, जिसमें एक cell होगा, that is a unicellular organism, और जिसमें ज़्यादा होंगे वो multicellular. We, plants, insects, we are all multicellular, whereas amoeba, paramecium, these are all unicellular. Why are cells so small? The smallest cell, I'll just tell you, is Mycoplasma gallisepticum, yellow pleuropneumonia like organism, which is found in the primate bladder, waste disposal organs, genital organs, respiratory tract also. And the largest cell found in nature is the ostrich egg. The longest cell are your neurons. The longest in any species is the colossal squid ka jo neuron hai, that is the longest. It is almost 10 meter in length. In human being, our largest cell is the ovum. Roughly about 1 mm in diameter. The information is given here. It's very interesting facts. Sperm is the smallest cell, and the longest cell is a neuron, the one which runs from the big toe to the hip, that's almost a meter long. Why the cells are designed to be so small? Because there is a basic necessity in our body, that is to decrease the surface area to volume ratio. Now if you consider the surface area of all the cells, not all of them are exposed to the outside. What will happen? There will be excess amount of metabolic activity if the volume also becomes too great, like the surface area. So in order to decrease the surface area to volume ratio, these cells are basically so small in size, and the ones exposed outside are very few. This will prevent escape of heat that is produced during the metabolic activities. Then cell shapes and functions. As you can see, basic, let's discuss like these 3-4 cells. Human RBCs, which are circular and biconcave in shape, they are responsible for transport of oxygen, digested food. WBCs, the white blood corpuscles, amoeboid, टेढ़े मेढ़े होते हैं, irregularly shaped होते हैं, immunity provide करते हैं. Nerve cells, long elongated, nerve impulse को propagate करते हैं. Muscle cells, हमने लास्ट चैप्टर में ही किया था. स्ट्राइएटेड हो सकते हैं, देन स्पिंडल शेप्ड हो सकते हैं, ठीक है, ब्रांच्ड हो सकते हैं कार्डियक मसल के. They help for the movement of muscles, contraction and relaxation. Then there are guard cells present in stomata. Bean shaped guard cells किस में present थे? Dicots में. और double shaped monocots में. इनका function क्या है? Opening and closing of the stomatal pores. Now when we discuss the structure of cell, we will be discussing a few things. That is, we will first be discussing the cell boundaries, which are cell wall and the plasma membrane or the cell membrane. Then we will discuss the content that is inside the cell, that is the protoplasm, which consists of the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Anything except the nucleus is known as cytoplasm. उसमें क्या होता है? उसमें cellular organelles होते हैं, vacuole होता है और cytoplasmic inclusions होते हैं. Cellular organelles कौन से होते हैं? जैसे double membrane structures हैं mitochondria, plastids, single membrane structures हैं endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, and membraneless structures are also there like ribosomes and centrosomes. So we are going to discuss all these components one by one, students. Let us start with the cell boundaries. The first cell boundary that we have to discuss is the cell wall. Cell wall is a tough rigid layer that surrounds only some types of cells, like it is there in the plants, bacteria, fungi, certain algae and archaebacteria also. It's not there in animals and protozoans. Okay, then let us see the components. The archaea cell wall is made up of glycoproteins and polysaccharides. Fungal cell wall, glucosamine and chitin. In algae, glycoproteins and polysaccharides. In case of plants, cellulose, hemicellulose, glycoproteins, pectins, lignins, different plants, different. And the cell wall is freely permeable and non-living in nature. Basically, the secondary cell wall, जो mature cell wall होती है, that is non-living in nature. See, I'm going to talk about this now. See, the plant cell wall, if we discuss, there is a middle lamella, which is the first layer which is formed right after cell division, which we will be dealing with the third chapter in this unit. Fine. This layer is rich in pectin. Pectin का बना हुआ होता है और ये क्या करेगा, बाद में adjacent cells के साथ combine करके उनके साथ connections बनाएगा. जो primary cell walls होती है, जो एक newly divided cell की cell wall होती है, वो living cell wall होती है. pectin की बनी होती है, hemicellulose, glycoproteins, और वो size में grow कर रही होती है, extensible होती है. जो secondary cellulose होती है, secondary cell wall होती है, that is rigid. It is a thick layer formed inside the primary cell wall, extremely rigid and provides strength. It is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and lignin. The bacterial and the fungal cell wall. Bacterial cell wall, children, is made up of peptidoglycans, namely murine is there. And there was a scientist called Gram who, devised a stain called the Gram's dye, Gram stain or Gram's dye. Now, the bacteria whose cell wall absorbs the Gram stain are called Gram positive bacteria, and those who do not absorb the Gram stain are known as Gram negative bacteria. The fungal cell wall, students, is made up of chitin and other polysaccharides. Basically, it has to be, protective in nature. Chitin, glucans, many manoproteins like mannose and glycoproteins are present in its cell wall. What are the basic functions of cell wall? Something that we've already done in younger classes. Definite shape provide करता है, structure को maintain करता है, structural support provide करता है, infection से protect करता है, mechanical stress से protect करता है, interior of the cell को separate करता है और बचाता है external environment से. It enables transport of substances, आदान प्रदान कराता है अंदर बाहर, ऑस्मोसिस को रेगुलेट करता है, वाटर लॉस को प्रिवेंट करता है, दैट इज ऑस्मोटिक रेगुलेशन इटसेल्फ. फिजियोलॉजिकल और बायोकेमिकल एक्टिविटी के लिए कम्युनिकेट कराता है एडजेसेंट सेल्स के साथ. प्रिवेंट्स द सेल फ्रॉम रप्चरिंग ड्यू टू टर्जो प्रेशर. जब ज़्यादा वाटर अब्जॉर्ब हो जाएगा तो उसको बर्स्ट होने से बचाता है. Helps in diffusion of gases. There's one more concept called the plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata are small gap junctions. These are junctions which interconnect two cell walls, as you can see in this particular diagram. So plasmodesmata क्या करेंगे, दो को connect करेंगे. Fine. The apoplasm simplex pathway we'll be dealing with in the transport. Okay, next we have the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. It is made up of phospholipid bilayer. Bilayer of lipids are there, and along with that certain proteins are also present. Plasma membrane is amphipathic in nature. Amphipathic means it has both hydrophobic and hydrophilic tails. It has hydrophobic heads and hydrophilic tails. I will just show you how. This is the head of the lipid molecule. This is the tail. This is the tail. This is the head. This is the head, tail, head. This is how they have been. The head is hydrophilic, it points towards water, whereas this internal region is hydrophobic in nature. Understood, students? It is a lipid bilayer which contains two layers of phospholipid. Phosphate head is polar, water loving, and the tails, the fatty acid tails, obviously we know that lipids are non-polar and water fearing. Okay, and proteins are embedded in middle, as you can see. Let me just maximize, and then yes, see, these are the proteins. This is a channel. The here tails are shown. These are non-polar. This gray, dark gray, these are head which are polar in nature. अब इसके साथ क्या होता है, जो पोलर मॉलिक्यूल होगा उसको ये ट्रांसपोर्ट नहीं करेगा, तो उसके ट्रांसपोर्ट के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए, प्रोटीन्स चाहिए. What are the chief functions? This model, okay children, this model is known as the fluid mosaic model, which was given by Singer and Nicholson. What are the chief functions? The chief functions are to separate the contents from the surroundings. Obviously एक barrier बना देता है animals में खासकर. Regulates the entry of certain substances because it is semi-permeable in nature. Semi-permeable or selectively permeable. It only allows entry of certain substances while inhibits the entry of others. It maintains the shape of the cell in case of an animal cell. Fine, let us now discuss the protoplasm. What is the protoplasm? The cytoplasm and the nucleus. Let us discuss the cytoplasm. प्रोटोप्लाज्म इज द लिविंग कॉम्पोनेंट ऑफ द सेल. बेसिकली सेल वॉल, सेल मेम्ब्रेन के अंदर जो भी होगा वो क्या होगा, प्रोटोप्लाज्म होगा. उसमें साइटोप्लाज्म होगा और न्यूक्लियस होगा. साइटोप्लाज्म क्या है? इट इज़ अ जेली लाइक सब्सटेंस विच इज enclosed by the plasma membrane. It has all the organelles suspended in it which carry out various functions, चाहे वो lysosomes है, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus है, mitochondria है, everything is suspended in the cytoplasm. Apart from that, there is nucleus which is actually the brain of the cell, which has all the genetic material which decides कि जो daughter cells होंगे, जो progeny होगी वो कैसी दिखेगी. Okay students, so that's it for today's class. We'll be doing the details of nucleus in our next class. I hope you all understood what I taught today. I hope you all understood what I taught. I suggest you all make complete use of the YouTube channel to enhance your learning. So until next time, goodbye, take care.